My name is Chris Fritton, and for the last 3 years I've been doing a project called the Itinerant Printer, where I'm traveling around the US and Canada visiting different letterpress print shops. We're running some prints today at Woodside Press in Brooklyn, New York, at the Brooklyn Navy Yard. I think a lot of it started when I was really young in the late 80s and early 90s, and I was making a lot of punk rock and skateboarding zines, and there's an absolute autonomy that's sort of given to you when you become part of the culture. So you begin to understand that you can listen to anything you want, you can be any way you want, you can look any way you want, and that identity construction has less to do with being like everyone else and more to do with being yourself. That was really important to me, and it really started the whole path that I'm still on today. I got into letterpress printing about 2006, 2007, and when I did, it was really just to produce my own work. But then I started reading a ton about the history of letterpress printing, and as I did, I would catch these little parts about like tramp printers or itinerant printers, and I began to think like, what is that, you know, what's going on there? And then I finally started to explore even more and find these first-hand accounts that were written by tramp printers. And when I did, I found out that they would travel with a union card. So there was the International Typographical Union. All you had to have was a union card. You could work in New York for 2 weeks, quit, move to Chicago, work there for 2 weeks, quit, move on to Kansas City. And I was like, man, that sounds amazing. You know, you're living this nomadic lifestyle, but you're also earning a paycheck. It wasn't until about 2014, I was wrapping up my time as studio director at the Western New York Book Arts Center, that I was like, you know, I might be able to take this historical notion of itinerant printing and modernize it. And that's what I've done. So I've re-envisioned the whole thing for modern times. What I do now is I travel around the whole US and Canada visiting different letterpress shops, and the only thing that I bring with me is paper and ink. That way I'm working with their idiosyncratic elements that they have in the print shop, whether it's wood type, metal type, border, ornament, what we call cuts that are image blocks. And that way the work that I make on the road becomes an index of my time there, as well as an index of what they have in their collection. As I travel around, there's like different reasons to love all the places. You know, it could be the people and we really get along fantastically. It could be what they have in their collection and it's stuff that you've never seen before and that's super unique. Or it could just be the landscape. You know, if it's up in the mountains in New Mexico or something, you're in this beautiful place while you're printing. And for me, this whole project has been about the transfer of knowledge as well. Not just the product, but the actual process and the technique that it takes. I work with letterpress printing also because it's the thing that I have the most facility with. I can't draw, I'm not illustrative, but if you give me 1,000 objects, I can arrange those things with the best of them.